Oh, he in a sunken place.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Black Ops 7. Alright, let me go ahead and give a disclaimer. If you do plan on playing this game, or if you don't want to know much about the campaign mode, please just go ahead and play it first, and you can come back or whatever, just because there will be a lot of spoilers that is going to be in this video. If you don't care, then just go ahead and continue. We'll go ahead and continue from here. So let's talk. So Black Ops 7, the campaign was definitely a super doozy. To be honest, it seems like they really just lost the plot at this point, or really just feels like it was just completely rushed, and I have my reasons. I originally wasn't gonna play this game, but I've been seeing so much backlash on it that I was like, you know what, let me play it for myself and see what I think, get my own little opinion on it, just so I can go ahead and, you know, just put my opinion out there as well. So when it comes to the plot of this game, it seems like most of it is basically just based on the psych grenade. It's a tactical grenade that you can use in the game, and it's basically just giving its background, or it's basically its origin story to why it's in the game in the first place, and it ends up being like a huge plot point. One thing about this campaign mode, I hate when they put in a co-op campaign, not for the simple fact that I don't want to play with other people, but it just seems like whenever they do put in that co-op campaign, I don't remember how it was with Black Ops 3, but with this one, as soon as you drop into the game, you basically just in there alone, and you're not, there's no NPCs that you get to play alongside or anything like that. It's just you, which in my opinion that kind of sucks. So whenever they are introducing this gas grenade, well, the psych grenade, the main characters, they get trapped in this gas chamber or whatever. And the thing that's crazy is that the fact that they're in this chamber, they get hit directly. Like they get straight up just smacked by the gas. And somehow, some way, they're not affected. And they just get up like nothing happened. And like they are, but they're not. Not like how everybody else is. So everybody else is going crazy, and I ain't got no suit on at all. And I'm just running through, and I'm fine. Getting into it, the guild, they're the ones that created this gas, and they're trying to put it out there to, I guess they say it's for fear, but it really just looks like they're trying to create a zombie apocalypse or something. But when the main characters are hit by this gas, they are literally barely affected. Like, it's like, oh, just like you just spray some water on them. They was like, okay, all right, let's keep going. Like, what? Once you you get hit by the gas, then you blow up the building.
Yeah, about that.
He couldn't have done that before. But I mean, hey, it's whatever. I guess it's just for the plot. But it seems like when it comes to this main character, the main antagonist, which her name is Keegan, she's running the guild. For some strange reason, she, instead of her having her own identity, it seems like they're riding off the coattail of Menendez and his story, which honestly is really robbing the antagonist from just being its own individual person. It just seems like they're just stuck in that shadow, of Menendez, trying to use him as the face of fear or whatever she wanted to do, which honestly they say fear, but it just seems like it's just attacking everybody's insecurity or whatever. But also, just circling back on the gas, it seems like what it's supposed to do is making everybody else go completely insane. But for the main characters, it just seems like they just have mental like trips or whatever. It seems like it's just a crazy trip, which honestly just did not make sense. It didn't really explain how it actually worked, so that was definitely something that really just was not explained at all. I tried to just wait and see throughout the storyline if it was gonna be explained, and it wasn't. So speaking of Menendez, they do use him a lot throughout the story, or at least a good chunk. He pops up here and there pretty much whenever it's convenient. Whenever he first runs into Menendez when he's on his little psychic trip or whatever. He pops up on some screen, and then the dude just straight up shoves a knife through the screen, which honestly it was kind of hard. I was like, okay, you know what? It just seems like it was really just riding off the old stuff mainly. After he has that confrontation with Menendez, that's when the trip really just starts. So they end up running through the tunnel or whatever. After that, pretty much David ends up falling into the sunken place. Oh, he in a sunken place. They might try to call it something else, bro, but you cannot tell me that is not the sunken place. It is literally the sunken place. I'm so serious, bro. Yeah, but then after that, they wanted to, what it seems like they were doing, for some reason they had flying machetes coming down from the sky. Did not make sense. I guess, I get that it was a part of Menendez's background or whatever, but like to have flying machetes just coming down from the sky, bro, they lost the plot. I don't know, because honestly, it's not Call of Duty. It's not something that you would expect from that. If it was a different game, I would probably be able to accept it a lot more. It seems like it was more going down the Saints Row path, if you get what I mean. If you know, you know. Like what happened with Saints Row 4. It seemed like they lost the plot with that. So, speaking of Menendez, he ends up being the first boss that you pretty much fight, which again, he had the machetes coming down trying to kill you, whatever. It just seemed more like a thriller game than an actual Call of Duty. And I ain't even gonna lie, bro, Menendez, he stole Jinwoo's flow bar for bar, bro. Like, he stole, if you see him solo leveling, that man stole Jinwoo's flow bar for bar.
Arise.
Alright, so after that, you end up going into another trip, which you end up trying to go find Woods. Now, we're just gonna call this trip the Sunken Place, just because it definitely reminds me of the Sunken Place. I would call it the Upside Down, but I'm gonna just call it the Sunken Place, because, you know, they did the little falling thing or whatever. So we're just gonna call it the Sunken Place. They end up trying to go find this dude who's supposed to know what the project is for, or whatever it does. And once they get to him, they end up having to go chase Woods and get Wood. Now, it is a lot of things that I seen that really just gave me a clear cut understanding that they definitely had the zombies team working on this campaign alongside the people who were supposed to just work on the campaign. Bro, what is this? There was definitely a lot of clashes that happened when it comes to this, just because they most likely got thrown into this at the last minute, which I would not be surprised, especially just the way that games have to be made nowadays. It usually takes a lot more time for you to make games, and within a 1 year time span, I bet you they did not have that much time. So they had to use all hands on deck, which has a lot of clashing going on when it comes to the making of this campaign. Because for some reason, once you get to Woods, for one, they have resemblance of zombies within the campaign. Bro, what was that? That whole thing just did not make sense. Two, you have the boss that you have to fight within the Woods little mission, and it is giving zombies. It's giving zombies, like from the apothegons and stuff like that. It's giving all of that. What is this? It's not gonna work for a campaign, bro. It doesn't work. Like, if it's a campaign, you kind of want to, like, if they wanted to do their own thing with that, then that would have been cool. But again, it's like they literally rushed it. I can't even lie. But anyways, they ended up, once that is done, they ended up somehow getting back to normal, which they don't explain how the Sunken Place works. They do not explain it at all. It is not explained, not one time. Because the whole thing, like, I had a lot of questions. I was like, yo, so how are they, like, going into the Sunken Place and then they're just coming back and then it's just completely normal? Like, do they disappear? Do they, like, fall on the floor? Are they just going insane? Like, they don't explain it. Pretty much after that, you're just looking for a quantum computer, which you blew up in the beginning.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, go figure. So you gotta go find a new one, which they have for the plot. They have this one girl that ends up being popped in. She pops up for like 5 seconds. She was pretty cool, but honestly, she was literally just there to chase her down and kill her. I haven't played any of the other campaigns since Black Ops 3, so I might be out of touch with that a little bit. So yeah, so she had the access card that you need to get to the next spot. So once you get the access card, you pretty much gotta put it into the computer so you can track it down, or it's something that you gotta put it in. You gotta put it in some database, and you get introduced to another character which is only used for one mission and one mission only. You get introduced to Razor and his team. And if you're playing this alone, you got this girl named Karma, which you only interact with one time. She only pops up in the actual thing one time just to tell you what to do, and she's just there fighting somebody when you pull up. And after this, you never see her again. You only see her in cutscenes. So with Razor, you get sent with the mission that you're doing. You pretty much just get sent to go chase down this dude who's a businessman. He somehow knows what a computer is, so you go chase him down. But then as soon as you get to him, he's when you're in pursuit of leaving, you have to fight this Vatol that takes 1,000,000 missiles to take down, and it was crazy. But then after that, they pretty much throw in a little hint about Razor once it gets further down the line.
You trust your team, I trust mine, but
We can't trust each other.
can't be absolute.
Understood.
Which I was like, see, look, he seems untrustworthy already. I mean, I can't trust a dude named Razor. It seems like he go cut. It's in the name, bro. He gonna cut you, bro. After that, it seems like they remembered that David can't be the only one that gets the trips. So after that, we end up having Samuels go back to Black Ops 2 whenever we're fighting the mission to go save the president. So we have to go back through that, but it's in a trippy setting. Then after that, we finally get 50/50's backstory because I don't know if she was in any of the other games from like Black Ops 4 to Black Ops 6, but I didn't really play those, so the campaign. So I need to actually go back and play those so I can kind of see what was going on. But we finally got her backstory because I didn't know who she was. She was new to me. And then you get Harper, which his was just insane. You had to fight a giant version of him because he's mad and he thinks that y'all are gonna betray him. Hint, hint. That fight was just it blew me. I was like, man, what the fuck? Once that's done, you actually 50/50 does some crazy move. Like clearly she's superhuman, but Jesus, damn, you can take all that. After all that, and then you go through his trip of being betrayed, you actually get betrayed because Razor betrays you. He's the one that ends up being the mole to give all the information to the guild or whatever. So that was crazy.
Karma?
Section. It's a Razor. He's been feeding intel to the guild.
He wiped out the hard drive and then just basically just said, you know what, fuck y'all. After that, you find somebody that was on his team, which is the doctor. You end up trying to chase him down. The next you know, he ends up trapping y'all. Again, you're fighting zombies. Look, they're zombies. And then you're trying to get him as well. When you find him, he basically is like,
To find out why the cradle hasn't killed you.
because that's the question we all want to know, bro. Why y'all ain't dead yet? Like, it's killing everybody else, but the plot armor is just plot armoring at this point because we don't know what is it. The C-Link? Like, they hint at it, but they don't answer it. Like, everybody else is going insane. Then after that, you end up going into a gulag, trying to go to find Alex Mason. Well, David's dad. She's using him as a tool to get into his head or something. Again, it's like she is only playing on your insecurities. That's it. That's not very villain-like. It's not very scary. Whoever wrote that character, they could have did better. Like Menendez, he actually gave, like, when it comes to the Call of Duty villains, especially in the past, bro, like, they have substance.
It was taken from me. Do you know what that feels like yet? An American torched the warehouse. For insurance money, $11,000. That was the value they placed on her life. She was the reason for me to live. What about you? What drives you?
And she doesn't. And it sucks because it seemed like especially for the person who was supposed to be the actor for this one, I feel like they did injustice because of what they were given. They gotta, like, when it comes to that, they didn't have to write off Menendez, bro. They could have just wrote that off, but they decided to keep it and use it. But she could have just been her own little villain and had her own little origin instead of having to write off what Menendez built, which was really stupid in my opinion. So they're in the gulag and they're trying to just gotta creep through and sneak past zombies or whatever. And once you get there, then you run into Alex Mason, his dad, and she's using him to kind of get into your head, be like, hey, you suck, you're nothing. So it just seems like the whole game was trips and playing on insecurities. But anyways, you end up, once you get past that, then you have to go through his memories and try to save him.
He's the key. Let's go.
Just because it's getting in your head or whatever, but somehow you're blocking it, which is not being answered. When you get to this cabin, it's definitely something that's in the zombies thing currently, because I played the zombies and I was like, that looks familiar, because they're using both zombies and they're using the regular campaign and just combining it, which I feel like you should honestly just keep completely separate. That's what each individual thing is making it better, instead of sitting there. Everything is not better when you put it together. And also just a random thing between cutscenes, for some reason I kept getting put in with other people even though I was playing by myself, and it will only have me in listening to people's conversation during cutscenes. Bro, the game was not finished. The game is not finished, bro. Finish the game and then put it out. So after that, you end up trying to find out to go to the cradle, because now you got to go for the cradle. But then, like, when you're on the way to the cradle, Razor tries to stop you, and then that's your next battle. But when you fight him, after you get done fighting him, you try to blow up all the shipments that they have, and then Keegan ends up blowing it up anyway, and then makes you go insane again.
Oh, shit. We just got hit with a huge dose. On your guard.
This many doses, and it's not being explained how they are just basically eating it. They're like, hey, look, whatever, I eat that for breakfast, bro. And then you just go into the sunken place again, and then you have to fight this apothegon, because I'm gonna call it the apothegon because it looks exactly like it. Once you get done with the sunken place, then you gotta go to an offshore rig to finish off the cradle. So once you get there, you basically end up getting confronted by Keegan again, but she uses Menendez again as another fear tactic, and then also playing on really just the trauma that he has about his dad, and that ends up being a big plot point, which again, it's proving my point, like, yo, why doesn't she have her own thing that she does? I mean, I guess the insecurity thing, but dude, like, what? That's not a villain. I mean, it sucks, it's stupid, but it's not a villain. Like, that's not a real villain. She basically has her robots fighting the battle for her. And then, because the end battle is definitely not giving in battle, just because you're fighting the robots and you're not actually fighting her. With every other person, you got to fight them, but with her, you got to fight her robots. And then at the end, you get the robot turning on her and then shoot a missile at her, and she just, that's it. And it didn't even kill her. You just basically you just keep her captive. And honestly, bro, they could have did better than that. I would have preferred any of the other battles to be the end battle than that, because that jaunt ended so weak. That was the end of the campaign. Now here's my final thoughts. Would I recommend you play this? No. I only played it really for the love of the game at this point, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not necessary. It's definitely not giving Call of Duty. It really just seemed like an afterthought, honestly, just because it seems like a lot of it was definitely rushed. It really just seemed like they just got everybody all hands on deck to finish it last second, and then they came out with that. So, no. Out of 10, I'll rate it about a 3 for effort. Once I had finished the campaign, I did realize that they have a new mode called Endgame, and it seemed like that they really just came up with Endgame first, and then it was like, oh wait, it needs a backstory. That's what it definitely seemed like. It didn't seem like Endgame was made after the campaign. It seemed like it was made before the campaign. But I didn't get a chance to play Endgame yet, but I have played the other modes. The campaign mode was definitely trash. But I will say that the multiplayer and the zombies, in my opinion, is better. It just seems like, especially paying $70+ for a game, it seems like you're paying more for a DLC than a new game. And this is why they need to start taking breaks. They need to have more time to make the games good. When it comes to their current formula with them coming out with a game every single year, I do not agree with it one bit, because you're buying a new game every single year. Look at Battlefield. Battlefield doesn't come out with games every single year. And it seems like it's been a little split, but I haven't played a game myself. But from what I've seen, it does look like they made a great game, in my opinion. It looks great. Now, if you don't like it, then that's your opinion, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't give my full synopsis on it just yet. But from what I'm seeing, it seems like it's pretty good, so I might have to give that a try. But I've grown up playing Call of Duty since Modern Warfare, the first one. I just want a good Call of Duty game. I do miss the old, I miss having fun with it. I could say I have had fun with the recent iterations, but now I'm starting to feel like I'm getting fatigued by it. We thought that they were going to take a break every other year, but then they end up just dropping back-to-backs, and it's just like, it seems like y'all are really just focused more on the money now than the long-term fan base. Because if you don't have a fan base, then what? You should listen to your fans, man. Take a break. Let your developers do their job. Don't give them too much pressure, because they could probably give better stories. And from what I heard and what I see, it seemed like y'all really try to cut corners with this one. So we're letting you know, we can see y'all cutting corners, and y'all need to do better, bro. With that being said, that's it. If y'all made it to the end of the video, hey, thank you. But I do appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. Just to give a little shout out to my main channel. If y'all rock with me, go ahead and check out the main channel. I'll put the link in the description down below. And while you at it, if you rock with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like the video. It helps me a lot. And leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think. Other than that, we out, my dog. See you later.